Look, let's get to it here today. Matter of fact, before we go any further, let's just listen to and unfortunately listening doesn't quite tell the story of what happened with the A.J. Brown thing. So if you don't know, A.J. Brown on a podcast with Julian Edelman and Rob Gronkowski, and while many of the right things were said, although very little actually about the Eagles, it's the wink not heard around the world that is causing a stir in Philadelphia. Edelman is poking at him with the Patriots thing. We know A.J. Brown played for Mike Vrabel, who, of course, is their coach, and they could use a wide receiver.
And he grew up a Patriots fan, too.
And he grew up a Patriots fan and all that stuff. And so, and of course, they were winning Super Bowls when he was a kid. So here is Julian Edelman, a leading question, trying to make a point to A.J. Brown. You won't see the key moment, but the key moment is that A.J. Brown winks at the two Patriots, and then they react. Listen to this.
Man, it's been really fun to sit here and get to chop it up with you, bro. And just remember, we're all Patriots. You know that, right?
Are you going to be a Patriot? Are you going to be a Patriot? Do you want to be a Patriot?
I'm trolling.
All right, there was the wink, obviously, about 3-4 seconds ago. So, look, we'll take your reaction, 215-592-9494, of yet, and, James, I can't believe we're saying it, although I can, yet another.
Yeah, I can totally believe it.
Yet another AJ-created situation, 215-592-9494. Really two things today. One, what's your reaction to it? Two, here's really where I want to drive the conversation when you call in. If you were delivering a message to A.J. Brown, if he's listening right now, what are you saying to him?
Yeah.
What are you saying to A.J. Brown as an Eagles
He's
fan?
saying, I'm trolling. I'm saying, well, don't. And what you just did probably signed your ticket right out of town. I guess that's your intention. You know, I played with the guy back in the day named John Wellborn. He was my friend. He started doing stuff like this in an off season, talking about Modrak.
Yep.
I couldn't believe he was doing what he was doing. Now, once again, we see AJ doing this, what he's doing, what we saw James Harden do and continue to do.
Right.
Look, AJ does this. I guess once you've done it once, it's a lot easier to go and betray your teammates again. Of course I have a problem with this. I can't believe it has gone this far. And I do. I blame AJ a heck of a lot. I also blame our CEO head coach for allowing it to get to this point. I know that's expecting a lot of our CEO head coach, but hey, you got a lot on your plate. A lot is expected of you, and it doesn't feel like you've done anywhere close to enough with this situation. Former best friends, just, godfathers to children.
Yep.
And they just can't figure out a way to get along. That makes no sense to me. I blame AJ. I also blame Nick. And, I think at some point even the biggest Jalen basher is going to have to show some Jalen sympathy.
I
here.
agree.
His main target and his head coach are supposed to help everything move along and allow this flow, to get into a rhythm as an offense. I don't think that's happened around here in years, and it feels like we're starting from a tough spot this season if we even try to go down this AJ path. It feels like he's setting a precedent here that we shouldn't even dare to try to resist this move or whatever it is he's doing. I entered this offseason hoping they could do the adult
and
thing,
everybody
the
did.
mature thing.
Everybody wants it to work out. Nobody wants A.J. Brown off the Eagles.
And
Nobody.
it clearly can. And we have to come to realize again, once you've gone here, once you've done this to your teammates once, it just must be easier to betray them again. And that's what we're seeing.
So, look.
It's a shame.
Yeah, no, look, betray, strong word. I don't think you're wrong. We'll take everyone's reaction to what A.J. said, what John just said, what A.J. winked, the whole deal. The whole deal. 215-592-9494. First, let me talk from my standpoint, sort of to everyone listening, and then I'll talk to A.J. Brown. Because I really do want to drill down today when you call in at 215-592-9494, what would be your message to A.J. if he were listening? But first, let me give a message to everyone listening. We got to stop kidding ourselves, guys. Anyone who's been in that, let's make sure we keep him category, guys, it's over, okay? He's gone. He just the deal hasn't been consummated yet, but he's not going to be an Eagle, okay? He does not want to play for the Philadelphia Eagles anymore, okay? He does not want to play for the Philadelphia Eagles anymore. He asked out when they were 3-0. He asked out when they had won a Super Bowl and then started a season 3-0. He wanted out. He does not want to be here anymore. So let's please stop kidding ourselves about it. I know we all want things to be okay. They're not. All right? Breaking news. They're not. He did not try his hardest in a playoff game. Prior to that, for about 4 months, he sucked the life out of the team in the season. I mean, he just sucked the life out of it. So, look, you guys know I think A.J., in many ways, is a sympathetic figure because, as you guys know, I think, and I know some of you think, Jalen doesn't get him the ball effectively enough, often enough. I believe that. And so, yes, A.J. deserves some sympathy. I understand why he's frustrated. But the way he has handled it is beyond. And it's tiresome. I mean, this is how I feel as a fan. Imagine how his teammates feel, how Sirianni feels, how Howie feels, how Jalen feels. Imagine, and look, you guys know I'm not the biggest Jalen guy, but it ain't fair. It ain't right. Here's the thing. In a word, it ain't cool. So today at 215-592-9494, that's my reaction to you. Now let me speak to A.J. if you were listening. Similar themes, but let me just to him. A.J., as I just stated, I do think there's a sympathetic element to you, and I'll acknowledge that. Secondarily, in the future, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, when you come back, you will get a tremendous standing ovation because of your enormous contributions.
2 Super Bowls.
Yes.
He had a lot to do with our success.
He did. It's the greatest 4-year stretch in the Eagles. We talk a lot about the greatest 10-year stretch, it's the greatest 4-year stretch. They reached 2 Super Bowls. They've been in the playoffs 4 straight years.
But now it's time to get what we can for him and cut bait.
So, A.J., you're going to – and I've seen this from Philly athletes when it goes awry, and they get that ovation almost every time when they come back. Scott Rowland didn't. You know, some guys never really get the huge ovation. Andre Iguodala's never going to get a huge ovation. But you're going to get a huge ovation, and, A.J., you're going to deserve it. And I'll be one of the people there to give you that ovation. But you're handling it all wrong, dude. You're handling it all wrong. You've lost the moral high ground. You're dragging your teammates, your executives, and the head coach through mud. Through difficulty. And you're putting the fans in the same spot. It's not cool. It's not right. And, dude, it's like, enough. Enough. 215-592-9494. What is your message? What is your reaction to the A.J. Brown thing? And what is your message if you were to speak to him? What is it? Talk to us.
He says he's just trolling like it's not a big deal. It is a big deal.
It is a big
deal. What
deal.
you've done to this team is a big deal. You have derailed a season in some small part all by your lonesome. Like, you have done awful
he did a lot of
things
damage
for this team.
Did a lot of damage.
I resent that. I resent what you're doing now. I loved you as a player. Holy cow. Right. I thought this is the second coming of Terrell. This is all this physical skill that we need to get over the top. And it was. It actually was.
It was. You're right.
And it worked. And now this is what we have to do.
All right.